Hey, Dylan.
Hey, Matt.
So, it's almost summertime.
Yeah.
We're kind of not fully in our Christmas mood, although I forgot to say this last week when we did our Invader Zim episode.
Yeah.
Based on our way of counting holidays, happy 6 months to Christmas time, buddy.
Yeah,
Because
dude.
the second May 1st hits, that's 6 months till November 1st, and that's when Christmas starts over
that's
here.
when Christmas starts, brother. That's the thing, is like I keep seeing all these posts about 6 months to Halloween, and I'm like, that's fucking awesome. I'm all about Halloween. Let's rock. But it's right around the corner.
It's right around the corner. Good times. Good times for all. Dude, I don't think I told you this. So
Yeah.
I had the honor of being asked to speak at Temple University's podcasting class.
Okay.
And I was telling about like all the different podcasts and that we do and whatnot. And it wasn't like a huge class. It was maybe like 8 to 10 kids in the classroom.
Yeah.
But I had business cards for every show. And at the end of class, I was like, I explained all the shows that I do. And at the end of class, I was like, hey, come up and take a business card. Like, if you ever have any questions, you can contact me or just enjoy the show. Like, whatever. Every single kid was like, do you have a card for that Christmas podcast?
Dude, it's wild, the people that are interested in this show specifically. Like,
I think it's because it's so outrageous to do a Christmas show all year round. And I'm explaining this story up front because both of us have had our, like, picking a song where you're like, is that true? Or picking a movie or a TV show where you're like, is this truly, like, a Christmas thing? And while this isn't the most egregious pick in the world, this was definitely a, like, I can't do something super Christmassy right now. Let's watch Peppermint.
This is a step above Scream because at least it's set around Christmas.
Yeah, it is definitely, I mean, I would put this in the, like, my argument for Die Hard.
I don't know. I think Die Hard's more Christmassy than this. At least we had some Christmas music in Die Hard.
Yeah, I mean, but you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like, you take the holiday out of this movie and the movie is exactly the same. Like,
it's really weird because the reference to Peppermint isn't even Christmas related.
No, it's an
like,
ice
it's because
cream.
the girl ordered peppermint ice cream.
Which, like, also gross. Like, I like peppermint
God.
things, but you couldn't pay me to have peppermint ice cream.
I'm going to assume it was mint chocolate chip and they just called it peppermint. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm like, as soon as she said that, I'm like, who has peppermint ice cream? But
It's
this
so
movie,
weird.
there was a time in my life, some would call it a dark time. I called it a great time.
Hell yeah.
Which was the existence
Hold on.
of...
Do you ever get nostalgic for bad times in your life? Now that
sometimes,
you say that,
but
like,
this was more like... Movie Pass existed, so every second of every day I was like, gotta go get my daily Movie Pass movie on.
Oh my God, did you see this in theaters?
I saw this in theaters, man.
What the fuck? Not that it's bad. Like, I don't want to say like, oh, I fucking hated this. This is not a movie I would go see in theaters. I wouldn't even watch this again on Netflix if I didn't have to. Again, not that it's bad. It's just with the amount of content out in the world nowadays, like, this
with
was
what
definitely
exists
on the bottom tier.
Look, all I can say is that I was reckless with my time, and I said, I've got fucking Movie Pass, so I'm gonna see whatever the fuck I want to see.
Yeah. Somebody in the world
when
you were going to see this was working on a cure for cancer, and you're like, I'm gonna go see fucking Peppermint.
I saw Peppermint, and I saw what the fuck was that other one? I almost picked that too, but that one's like even less Christmassy. The one with Liam Neeson when he's a plow driver getting revenge on the people who like killed his kid, and it's fucking ridiculous.
So like your description is like 15 different Liam Neeson movies. I feel like.
Cold Pursuit.
Yeah, I've never even heard of that.
Dude, Dylan, I was seeing no shit like 3 to 5 movies a week in theaters.
So
like,
what's your closest theater? Like, I think that's a
well, so I was also
that can
working
help this situation.
I was working a 9 to 5 job at the time. So there was like 2 theaters right by my office that I could get to in like 10 minutes from work.
Okay.
I had like a 45-minute drive home, so there was like 3 theaters en route from work to home.
Yeah.
And then there was like maybe 2 or 3 theaters about 10 to 15 minutes from my house.
So I don't think it's that bad, dude. Because I mean, like, you and I are both movie enthusiasts.
It was just, but it was what I'm saying is that there ain't 3 to 5 good movies coming out every week.
No. I'm with you, but I understand your thought process. Where to me, and you've been around here, dude. The closest theater to me is 30 minutes, and it's not on the way to work.
Yeah, you've got to earn it. Yeah, you've really got to want to see it. Yeah,
exactly. Like I'm sitting here. We were talking before we started recording. Like I'm a huge Star Wars buff, and I'm like, I would love to see Return of the Jedi in theaters. I'm not driving. I don't think I'm driving the distance to go do it just because I live in bumfuck. But if you have that decision, I totally understand. Plus, you're like, I want to get my money's worth out of this. So, and you definitely did.
I think at that time, my money's worth was $10 to $15 a month. So I just need to see a movie to get my money's worth. But man, I
definitely, dude. Who was working for? It's AMC, right? Who's working for AMC at the time and is like, this is a good idea?
No, this was MoviePass.
Oh,
this was the one that worked for every theater in the United States.
How did this happen? Like, how?
So basically, MoviePass started, the way that I understand it, MoviePass started and it was like a $60 card.
Yeah, I remember this like time period, but like in retrospect, you're like, how did movie theaters let this be a thing?
Yeah, well, you know what though? I'm glad. So look, MoviePass is a failure. They're trying to relaunch it, and it's still going to be a failure because the new
100%.
relaunch is so the new version that they're doing is so stupid. I'm not sure if you ever read up on it, but it was like MoviePass is literally just an app that makes you watch ads. And the more time you spend watching ads, the more free movies you gain access to.
That's through weird. And is it like a streaming service now or something?
No, it's literally like
you still get tickets.
Yeah, it's just like a digital credit card, and like each ad you watch is worthy of like $1. So you watch however many ads to gain money to pay for. I'm like, this is, and it's like, and it has a special software that detects that your eyes are staring at the actual screen, so you can't
really,
so like
shut
you can't
the
just
fuck
like
up.
Turn it on and like leave it in the corner. Like I'm like, son of a whatever. That was, I remember when they made the big announcement, they were making it sound so cool, like in their writing, and I'm like, this sounds fucking horrifying, and I don't like any of this. But the existence of movie,
you want to go see Guardians Volume 3 tomorrow? Yeah, sure. All right, we got to sit down and watch 40 ads tonight so we can go see Guardians tomorrow.
Yeah.
So make yourself some coffee.
Yeah. But like, and don't look away from my screen.
Yeah.
But I
and how do they what? Like
yeah.
Like is it determined on the app? Or you get to the movie theater and they're like, sorry, you only watched $30 worth of ads.
Yeah, you gotta
turn
fork
your
it
eyes
out.
away for the.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. But the existence of MoviePass is what gave us stuff like the AMC and the Regal Unlimited stuff, which is great because those are like, I pay for the Regal one right now. It's $20 a month. I can see as many movies as I want, and like as I say, like you see 2 movies a month, it pays for itself. Like
100%.
So it's like cool. So you know, sometimes there's months where I use it 4 times, and then there'll be like 1 or 2 months where I don't use it at all. Like, so I'm trying to get better at least seeing 2 movies each month, like finding that time.
I think the problem now is since the pandemic, like people have been pushing for that day and date release, home and theater. We are getting back to things being theater only now. But I feel like there's been some pushback. And you know what? I'm kind of behind some of that pushback because I do love the theater. We've talked about this. Yeah. But I think my positive theater experiences are now greatly outweighed by the negative.
Here's my mine isn't about positive or negative theater experiences because I could give a shit less. My ultimate theater experience is no one's in the theater but me.
Oh, 100%.
Like,
but by negative, I mean people don't shut the fuck up.
Yeah, no. I know what you mean. My problem is that even if I'm buying a brand new movie, on my television set at home, I'm fucking distracted. I'm distracted by every goddamn thing in the world. So like if I go to a theater, when I go to a movie theater, I hate saying this, it is the only time that I fully shut my phone down. I don't silence it. I shut the phone off. Yep. No one for the next 2 to 2.5 hours has any capabilities of reaching me.
Agreed.
And it's like, and I'm giving the movie 110% of my attention. Yep. So it's like I am trying to be pickier on like what are movies that I actually know that I want to pay attention to, take in, not be distracted by like, oh shit, did I send that email? Oh, my buddy's texting me. What's going on? Like, you know, like just completely cut off from everything but the film. So it's almost like therapy to me. It's the only time that it's silent. You know, like if so that's where it's like, but we're also hitting this point where it's like Guardians of the Galaxy. By the time this episode's out, Guardians of the Galaxy is out. At the time that we're recording it, it's already like, all right, do I want to see Evil Dead Rise? Do I want to see Beau is Afraid? Like, do I want to see like there's like all these like kind of heavy hitter movies for people like you and I that are just like dropping every single week now. And it's going to continue until at least September where it's like every week is something. Then there's stuff where it's like, oh, the week that The Flash comes out, I don't need to see The Flash. Like, I can live a happy life skipping that week. But, like, it's a lot. There's a lot coming out.
Yeah. And it's also turning into, at least, again, this is kind of not related to what you're talking about, although I totally get it. And I'm right there with you. I'm always constantly, if we're watching something, I'm doing something else. But we're getting to the point where even if things aren't released day and date, like things are coming out like 2 weeks after it's in the theaters. Like it's fucking wild. And I'm getting to a point where I'm like, do I have to? Like I already pay for this service that this movie is probably going to end up on. Scream 6 just came out on Paramount.
Yeah.
Just dropped on Paramount.
But you know what? That was one where there was no way I wasn't seeing that.
Oh no, 100%.
You know what I mean? Like there's certain ones where it's I could say the same for Guardians. Like Guardians will be on Disney Plus like 2 months after it comes out.
Yeah.
But it's like I love that franchise. As much as I've waned on the MCU as a whole, like I fucking love Guardians. I love James Gunn. Like I think that movie's probably going to be phenomenal based on everything that I've heard. So it's like I want to truly experience that because I can tell you, I use Disney Plus to watch Eternals and Wakanda Forever. And while it was really nice to have those long-ass movies in the comfort of my home, gun to my head, I could barely tell you what happened in either one of those movies because I was constantly distracted and finding other things to do the second that it got a little boring.
But I think like my thing is more you lose those the movies that slip through the cracks now.
Yeah.
Because of that, where I'm like, oh, that's just gonna be out in a couple weeks.
You lose those great movies that no one really talks about anymore, like Peppermint from 2019.
Yeah, sure. What's funny is you said you started with 19 because the thing I texted you 100%. This movie is a late 90s, early 2000s action movie. Like 100%. To a T.
It is.
I'm shocked this was in 2018.
Yeah, this is a. So not only did I see this in theaters, Dylan.
Yeah.
I also, because I had a full-time job and more money than I knew what to do with, bought the DVD the day it came out. Because
great.
Why wouldn't I?
Hello, everyone. We're Superhero Stuff You Should Know. And if you think you know about superheroes and comic books, think again.
We got romance. We got action.
Romance.
We got comedy. We got everything you need, man. Come on down to Superhero Stuff You Should Know for all your superhero needs.
I don't know about this romance. What part are you talking about?
We've got all kinds of sketches and then deep dives on top of that. Come on down to Superhero Stuff You Should Know.
All right, so come on down to... Wait, why did I say come on down? To Superhero Stuff You Should Know.
Dude, remember... Best Buy every fucking Tuesday.
Yeah, every Tuesday. You just rolled in with $100 and you're like, I'll take this, I'll take this, I'll take this, and bounce. Now I show up there on like Tuesdays and Wednesdays and the new releases still haven't been put out.
Yep.
And I'm like, man, they do not give a shit about people like me who want to get their DVD.
It's not just that, dude. It's the video game side as well. A couple weeks ago, Resident Evil 4 Remake had come out, and I'm like, all right, my Walmart, it's a small town Walmart.
Yeah, so, mine's Target is usually where I head. But yes, like the same vibe.
They only get a couple releases, or not a couple releases, but a couple copies of new releases. Like they'll restock, Like, not once it's sold, it's gone, but like on release day, because it's such a small town.
Yeah.
So I decided to go out before work because it's on my way. So I'm at 6:30 in the morning walking into this Walmart, and there's the Resident Evil 4 display, and there's nothing there. And I'm like, okay, so one of two things happened. Number one, there's more nerds in this fucking town than I actually anticipated.
Yeah.
Or number two, they haven't put it out yet. And yeah, the guy had to go into the back and
start
find
getting
them.
it. Yeah,
and it's like what is happening?
So I was thinking about this the other day because Kesha announced that her new album's coming out, and I am a fucking Kesha stan. I love the fuck out of Kesha.
Yeah.
So I was like, man, I'm going to go, the day it comes out, I'm going to go pick up my copy of it, right? Mm-hmm. And then I thought, where the fuck am I going to go to buy Kesha's new album? Because I'm sure that it's not going to be stocked that day at the Target.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I guess like
which is your only bet, because Target's pretty good at getting like
new
like
shit,
weird stuff. Yeah.
So there's a mall like 20 minutes from my house that still has an FYE inside of it, and I'm like, that might be the only place where I can find it. But FYE prices are fucking outrageous
you're
anymore.
Gonna be spending $20 for that one album.
Yeah, like at Target it's like $9.99. Like,
yeah.
I'm like, this is ridiculous. But I you know what? I'll make a little day of it. I'll go to the FYE. I'll get the Kesha CD, and then I'll like peruse their like used albums that they usually have marked for like $3, or check out their used DVDs just to see. Maybe I'll find, every once in a while you find like some diamond in the rough disc that you've been looking for forever that no one knows the value of at the FYE. So you're like, $3. I was trying to buy this thing on Amazon the other day used for $20. Like, didn't you grab it?
Yep.
Anyway,
Peppermint.
So Peppermint, I buy the DVD the day it comes out.
Yeah.
And I'm hanging out with a friend. And he's like, what do you want to watch? And I'm like, I bought that movie Peppermint. You want to pop that in? So we watched Peppermint. And I got to tell you, man, you're right. It's like a dumb late 90s, early 2000s action movie. Yeah. But I think that those are my favorite types of action movies simultaneously. Like, is this movie good? Absolutely not. Is this movie hyper violent? Like, for sure. The movie opens with one of the most violent kills I can possibly imagine. And it's just like everything, like the bodies hanging from the fucking Ferris wheel and shit. Like, I'm like,
this is so cool.
Yeah, I'm like, this movie's so stupid, but it's kind of great. And the premise is that there's this mom, Jennifer Gardner. She has this perfect life, and her husband is doing some shady dealings and decides he can't risk his family's life, so he's pulling out of the shady dealings. But one of the people that he was doing shady dealings with, under the threat of death, is basically like, he's the mastermind. Like, he kind of like...
Yeah, what a dick.
Yeah, he like straight up sells his... Dude, there's a couple douchebags in this movie. We'll get into
there
it.
is.
He sells this dude up the river. So, like, a cartel essentially guns down him, Jennifer Gardner, and like the most adorable like 8-year-old you've ever seen in film, who loves peppermint ice cream apparently. And
I was so curious, like, how they were when they showed this kid. I'm like, oof. How are we gonna do this? Yeah. And like throughout the whole movie, I'm like, we're watching this for a Christmas podcast. Yeah. There's not a lot of cheer happening.
There's not a lot of cheer. And then basically, look, we don't need to get into the details. You've seen these types of movies. Corruption in the courts. No one who committed the crime gets their just desserts. And Jennifer Gardner goes rogue. Yeah. And all of a sudden, a year later, all of the people who are tied to this are dying, and their bodies are being displayed. And there's a strange woman in a homeless area of the town where crime has been plummeting, and it turns out that Jennifer Gardner, as basically Batman Begins herself into being the ultimate killing machine just to get revenge on these people. And it is like pure just like fuck you energy the entire movie.
Dude, I took notes. I took notes for this.
Yeah, dude, it is fun. It's fun. Like, it's not fun. Again,
it's
there is no one on
like,
no one on this podcast
dumb.
is saying this is like a 5-star classic.
No,
but
it's so dumb, but it's so much fun.
I think I rated it at 2.5 on Letterboxd, and I'm like, that is the exact. Yeah, it's like that is the right amount of stars, because it captures how dumb the movie is, but also how fun the movie simultaneously is.
That's Joe Bob ranked fucking Witchboard 2.5 stars last night.
That is fucking generous, dude.
Yeah, it is.
Witchboard is rough.
We got halfway through it, and I'm like, I can't do this. That's me for 90% of Joe Bob. I'll start watching it, and I'll get through half the movie. Teddy goes, can we just watch Joe Bob and Darcy go back and forth? I was like, yes. Like, I like when Shudder puts those out, because half the time the movie is something I have zero interest in watching.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't watch those movies because Matt watches those movies, and then I hear how bad they are from his show.
Yeah, and if I won't even talk about Witchboard on our show, like, you know that's some shit. But
exactly.
I want to call out so the guy who sells the husband kind of up the river, he sucks, right?
Yes.
But no one sucks as much as the mom from the Girl Scout or the Fireflies.
Oh my fucking God, that was so funny.
This woman storming up, kind of having this like, I'm really doubting your commitment to the fire.
Yeah, I'm doubting your commitment to. Oh my God, what is that? Fucking,
like, it's basically the Donnie Darko line about Sparkle Motion, but she's just like, I'm going to report this to the Dead Mothers organization. And then this bitch, I hate throwing that word around, but has the audacity to be like, hey, we're going to just throw a casual little Christmas party on the exact same night as your daughter's birthday party so that no one comes to your daughter's birthday party, as like a shady revenge on you for having the audacity to try to sell Girl Scout cookies at the same building we're trying to sell Girl Scout cookies.
To which, correct me if I'm wrong, but don't most Girl Scouts like sell cookies as troops?
As a group.
Like there should be multiple people at this Girl Scout.
Anytime that I've purchased Girl Scout cookies, there has been more than one Girl Scout at said table.
It's just like 3 or 4.
Yeah, like it's like a gang of family people who are like, hey, we're all in this together.
Yep.
And also just quick shout out. Definitely support the Girl Scouts. Maybe not so much the Boy Scouts this day and age, but Girl Scouts pretty dope.
For it.
I mean,
I'm not Thin Mints hard.
Yeah, I'm not happy with how the price of Girl Scout cookies has been on the rise, while the quantity of Girl Scout cookies I get for that price has been on a steady decline.
Yeah.
We were talking about that with a group of friends last night where I'm like, I'm pretty sure last time I bought Girl Scout cookies, there were at minimum 9 cookies in the box and at maximum 12. But I paid $8 for it. I paid approximately $1 per cookie.
Those cookies fucking hit though.
They are great. They are great.
Some Samoas. What's your favorite Girl Scout cookie?
Dude, it was very short-lived, but for a couple years they had a s'mores cookie.
Yeah, dude.
That was fucking phenomenal. When I heard that they weren't producing that anymore, I did go through something. But of the mainstays that aren't going anywhere.
Yeah.
I love myself, well, depending on what region you're in, a Samoa or a Caramel Delight.
Hell yeah, dude.
And I'm not a coconut person normally, but that hits great. And also, man, I'll take a classic old shortbread cookie. Like,
I'm not a fan, but I get it.
That blue box of the shortbreads, like, all right.
Yeah.
All right. But this year, none. I did none.
No?
Yeah, I stayed away.
Actually, the only Girl Scout cookies I had is one of the teachers I work with, for like, I think for Christmas or something, whatever. When she'll buy some extra boxes and give them to teachers as gifts. Like and I'm like, I'm fucking for it, dude.
Yeah,
Free
that's
box
great.
of Girl Scout cookies.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, it's always randomized. Like she doesn't really take.
So you're
into
getting
account.
like the bottom of the barrel garbage.
Yeah. Well. So I got like tag-alongs, which I don't mind. I do like some. I love peanut butter, but tag-along isn't the cookie I'm going for. Like I want a Thin Mint or a Samoa or something like that.
Yeah. And you guys might be wondering how we're 25 minutes into the movie and we have barely spoken about the movie, and it's because like you've seen this movie. Even if you haven't seen this movie, you've seen this movie. Like
I feel like this happens a lot though. We're like, you've seen this.
Like Jennifer Gardner kills a bunch of people. It ends beautiful. Yeah. Yeah, it's like it's May. We needed something. Look, I actually said this to that temple class. And I said, here's the thing that I've learned. The special sauce, what makes a Matt Kelly podcast a Matt Kelly podcast. And it is topic that barely gets covered but leads to multiple tangents along the way.
Yeah.
And man, did we have that in spades this week over here at Christmas 365. But before we actually wrap up this very short discussion of the movie Peppermint, you did have notes.
I do want to I want to talk about some of these things.
All right, let's go. Rock the fire.
So I'm going to start from the top. All right, from the top. Our main trio, the family, before they all eat shit, is they go to a winter festival, okay, and they get pictures done in one of those like photo booths. I wrote this down because it stuck out to me so much. After they get gunned down, the moment that Jennifer Garner's character wakes up, the police officer at the time says, "We wanted you to have this," and it's the pictures. Fucking soaking in blood.
In blood.
I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, you couldn't, like, clean it off? Or maybe we just pretend we don't have those pictures anymore.
Yeah, that they were destroyed in the barrage of gunfire. Like,
yeah. For someone who is good at living off the grid, she sure does show up on a lot of security cam footage.
Yeah.
Super clear. Another thing that I noted was the slow motion when she goes into the convenience store and she's hiding in the ceiling, and there's a slow motion shot of her just eating shit. I mean, she just like drops through the ceiling and slams on the fucking ground hard. But then she gets up and they have a super dope gunfight in that convenience store. That was super cool. I liked that. Method Man's in this for 5 minutes.
Yeah, he is.
Like literally a total of 5 minutes. So, not to spoiler alert, one of the main cops turns out to be a dick and turns heel at the end, and then is basically replaced by Method Man's character. But it's literally for 3 minutes.
Yeah, it's quick, and yeah, that's one of the least shocking plot twists.
Yeah.
Like,
honestly, I thought it was gonna be the other guy that was gonna turn.
But you knew that it was one of the two cops.
One of them was turning.
Yeah, like it was like, there's no way that they're introducing this many police officers if one of them's not about to like fuck up everything.
Yeah. There is a female FBI agent that for some reason they're pushing as romance. There's a romance between, like, they're like, oh, why are you so obsessed with her? And like, he has never spoken to her, so I don't understand why they kept pushing that there was a romance. The ending is basically Riley getting her ass kicked for 5 minutes until the police show up. She records like a live. She's like, this is where we are. We're here. Come down and get us. And then she goes down and just gets her shit kicked in for 5 minutes straight. And then everyone shows up.
It's good shit.
They shoot the guy and the movie ends. It's a very abrupt ending.
Yes. Yeah, man, credits roll and you really think, aren't we going to linger on some of this? And the movie's like, no.
No, it is a very abrupt ending. I overall liked Peppermint. It's not something I will watch again. It is not something that's going to be in my yearly watches. But it might be cool to like throw on in the background, or I will recommend it.
I sent you that one link to what was it was like actionmovies.org that were like 10 action movies that take place at Christmas, and Peppermint did make the cut, but I was like, you know what, if someone asked me, hey, what are some good, like, I don't want something super Christmassy, but I want something in the realm of a Die Hard. It's like an action movie that just happens to take place at Christmas time, and it'd be like Kiss Kiss Bang Bang Peppermint. Like those would be two of my top recommends, because it's just like, you get a little bit of like Christmas decor in scenes. Oh, we got to talk about one other scene. My favorite scene. We talked about the den mother for the Fireflies, but when Jennifer Gardner makes that woman think that she's about to kill her.
Oh my God. She's like, now I'm going to walk out and burn your house down with you in it. And it starts walking out. She's like, what? She's like, calm down. I'm just kidding. And leaves. It's fucking hysterical. It's so fucking good. Dude, because she just opens up and gets punched in the mouth. It's great.
Dude, well, because theoretically, she's the reason why they're dead. Like, they would have been dead probably at some point, but, like, not on the birthday.
Yep.
like,
yep. Because people would have showed up to the party. They wouldn't have gone to the winter fair.
Exactly.
Which led to the death of all of them.
So,
yeah, it's her fucking fault. I want a sequel where Jennifer Garner
changes her mind. She's like, you know what?
Should have been nicknamed Peppermint. Like, I feel like this entire movie was like hinting that we're supposed to call this woman Peppermint or something. Like, and it never happens.
Never, ever.
Another movie that's pushed as Christmas action, and I've never seen it, which is wild because I'm a big fan of this man and his partner's work. Is Joe Lynch's Everly. Have you watched Everly?
No.
It's got Selma Hayek in it.
Ooh.
But it is apparently a Christmas action movie. So I think that definitely needs to be on our list. That's what this movie had made me think of what I think Everly is, because I haven't seen it.
So movie that was on that list that I've never... Did you check out that list? I can't remember.
Yes.
If you skipped it out. So movie that's on that list that I've never watched, have heard nothing but good things about, in like the circles that we run in level of good things. I've never seen Invasion USA. So if Invasion USA is something we decide to talk about, because that was what they picked as the #1 best Christmas action movie, I'm like, you know what? I've heard that is like, I mean, it's a Canon Pictures film starring Chuck Norris. So I kind of know what I'm getting into.
Dude, we've promised these people a lot of episodes of this, so I am sure that we will take care of, what is it? Invader USA?
Invasion USA.
Invasion USA. Well, definitely. That's on the list, man. Add it to the list.
I'll hit up the dudes from the Bulletproof Action podcast on the Geekscape Network as well. Be like, yo, you guys want to collab with us?
Yeah.
On an Invasion USA episode?
I mean, I enjoyed Peppermint. I like movies like this. I will say, you know my deal, man. What would have made this even better? 10 to 15 minutes shorter. Like,
yep. And it's not even an hour and 40. Like, it's an hour
and 40, but it doesn't have to be.
No, when I picked this, and then when I was about to pop it in to watch, I'm like, wait, this movie's not 2 hours, right? Like, I had like a moment of hesitation. All right, well, Dylan, you're my Peppermint.
Oh, you're my Peppermint too, man.
Oh, whoa, now we won't stop till the big ball drops on New Year's. Happy holiday, have a great holiday, have a merry happy holiday.
You're listening to the Geekscape Network.